Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Arbitrary 20. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Ranger from the new Player's Handbook Playtest 6. And now onto the Ranger. The first change is expertise changing to Deft Explorer. They now only get one expertise and they get a terrain-oriented feature as well. That being you pick two types of terrain and then you have advantage on nature and survival checks in those terrains, and you can swap one of the terrains out at a long rest. Personally, I just liked two expertise a lot better, but I don't know, I can see this at least fitting the fantasy of the Ranger a little bit better, but I don't know.
You know, I agree with you there. Two expertise is way better. At least you're not locked into one terrain for the rest of your life.
That's true. It's significantly better than Natural Explorer, yeah.
I choose Arid in a water campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot less DM and campaign dependent, yeah.
I think this is not this isn't the worst change to the Ranger for sure.
Yeah, I would be okay with it if it remained like that. Spellcasting has three noteworthy changes. Spell preparation is no longer tied to the level of your spell slots. I think that's going to be a pretty common change. The Ranger can change one prepared spell upon finishing a long rest, and cantrips are no longer included. The Ranger instead gets weapon mastery. That's actually a pretty good change for Rangers, them not being like known casters anymore. They can exchange at least one per long rest. Gives them a bit more versatility. And then yeah, they get weapon mastery, which is pretty much the same. They didn't change any of the weapon masteries from Playtest 5, but I mean that's pretty huge for the half-casters and the rogue, which we'll get to the other ones later. Which, I mean, if they didn't get this, you're probably taking a dip into fighter to get it anyway. Yeah. But it is nice that they just get it.
I do fully expect weapon masteries to change a little bit as it evolves. I don't think they're where their final form is.
I really hope not for some of them.
And is this the first time that swapping one spell in long rest? It's like the first time we've seen something like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Paladin has that too now. But yeah, I think I like the change. You can slowly change it. It's less overwhelming for people. You're like, okay, maybe this one spell isn't fitting anymore. I can swap it out.
Yeah. It does help I don't think the Bard got that. I think they're still just level up, but I think so. That does help the known casters that do get it. That'll help them. Like if they pick a spell they don't like, they can change it over long rest instead of waiting to the level up. And then next, favored enemy no longer removes concentration from Hunter's Mark, which according to them was overpowered. I would disagree with that. But the feature now allows you to cast the spell a number of times without expending a spell slot. And they also nerfed Hunter's Mark, so it's like the new Hex spell. It's once D6 applied once per turn, and if you upcast it to 3rd or 5th level, it increases to 2d6 and 3d6 respectively. I mean, at early levels, sure, but like from 5th level plus, this is a blank, in my opinion. Like, unless you run out of resources, you're not using this.
It's also only on the Ranger spell list now, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, Hunter's Mark is Ranger exclusive, yeah. And Hex is Warlock exclusive.
I would have been fine with them keeping concentration free, just like at a higher level. Like Ranger 6, it's just part of whatever level you get it at.
Yeah, so potentially they remove concentration later on. Yes. That's not a bad idea, yeah.
Later on in Ranger levels, so you don't go one level Ranger,
yeah.
Your whole life is solved. I hope they
or potentially just include it in the spell. If you upcast it to 3rd level, then it's not concentration. I still don't know if that's worth it, in all honesty, but
you can make it 2nd level.
It's better, yeah.
And then 3rd level you get concentration free plus extra damage, and then it's like starting to scale properly, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, either one of those could help, but as of right now, I definitely don't think this is good enough past like 3rd or 4th level. Ranger subclasses are back to what they were before, and then they get Conjure Barrage and Conjure Volley. Both of those were already spells on the primal list before, but now they've been buffed a little bit, and now they're Ranger exclusive spells, and they're Ranger class features at 9th and 17th level. Conjure Barrage is a 60-foot cone, does 5d8 force damage, and then Conjure Volley I think is a cylinder, and it does 8d8. So they're not bad. I think if you can hit enough creatures, they're probably worth using.
Thematically, they're some of my favorite spells. You just have to make them worth using.
Yeah, I'm glad they're good now because the Rain of Arrows thing is a super cool Ranger thing.
It's something I've always wanted to try. Now I can try.
And then looks like they changed Nature's Veil and moved it to 14th level. As a bonus action, you can give yourself the invisible condition until the end of your next turn, and you can do that a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier per long rest. That's honestly pretty good. Greater invisibility just for 2 turns, pretty much.
That's true.
It's got a lot of good utility and combat uses.
Yeah, that's true.
I like that it doesn't expend other resources now. Yeah, wisdom modifier times per long rest.
Yeah. So your wisdom's probably not going to be crazy high, but you still get some uses out of it.
Yeah. And then Tireless is now pretty much the same as it is in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. You get some temporary hit points, and then you can remove exhaustion on a short rest, which I think it's okay. The temporary hit points are nice. I don't see the exhaustion thing coming up that often, but it's cool. You can, if you have a party full of Rangers, you can just rest 1 hour a day and keep going.
Yeah, we're joking about this. You're a beast.
Yeah. 23 hours every day. I wish, bro.
1 hour of sleep when I just walk around in circles. 1 hour of light rest. That's my sleep. I mean, if it's in a certain campaign, it might come up.
Yeah. Really. And then Feral Senses is the same, but it's returned to 18th level. And then we have a new 20th level, Foe Slayer. When your attack roll misses the target of your hunter's mark, you can add your wisdom modifier to the attack roll, potentially turning it into a hit. In addition, whenever you hit that target with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can add your wisdom modifier to the damage. Who in their right mind is casting hunter's mark at level 20? No one. Literally no one, okay?
You don't want 3.
So bad.
You don't want 3 bonus damage? Come on. Jonathan, you expect too much.
Well, it would be 10 because you could have cast Hunter's Mark to 5th level with your.
That's true.
One of your 2 5th level spells.
That's true. That is true. I didn't think about that. All right, 10 extra damage. You asked for too much.
Yeah, this is completely terrible. Even if you have a 20 wisdom, I don't think this is good.
No, wouldn't move it.
Yeah.
At level 20? No.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I can see taking a few more levels of Ranger before multi-classing out, but I don't think I'm going past 9 for sure. But yeah, I don't know.
It is what it
But
is.
yeah, on to the subclasses. Beastmaster, the 3rd level one is pretty much the one from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which is a huge improvement to the previous Beastmaster. And then Exceptional Training now allows you to command your beast to use its bonus action to take the dash, disengage, dodge, or help actions. And then it lets you change the beast damage to force damage, which seems to be a common theme. Instead of letting you just ignore... instead of making your attacks magical, they're letting you change the damage type. Some people are speculating that they might just remove that for monsters. Either way, it pretty much does the same thing, to be honest, in most cases.
It's a small quality of life buff, but
yeah,
it's good overall.
I think dash, well, I guess disengage and dash are huge if you're trying to ride your mount, your companion.
I didn't think about that.
But then the help action, I mean, that's just free advantage every turn, regardless of whether you're melee or ranged. Your companion could just use their bonus action to give you advantage every time, which is pretty big,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It's fine familiar. I mean, it's tanky fine familiar, right? So.
But if you get this and find familiar,
that's true. I mean,
I don't think you'd need it because you can use like a Vex weapon or something. But yeah, and then Bestial Fury at, I believe, 11th level, yeah, allows your beast to also benefit from your Hunter's Mark, which...
Not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I still don't think that's very good, but yeah. Anyway, on to the Gloom Stalker, which was one of my favorite subclasses. Yeah. Dread Ambusher now allows the Ranger to deal extra damage more often than only during the first round of combat and includes the Frightened condition. Yeah, don't let them fool you guys. This is a massive nerf. So yeah, the feature that used to give you an extra attack and an extra D8 damage on that attack, which, yeah, to be fair, it could have been nerfed a little bit, is now changed to an extra D8 psychic damage once per turn, and then they make a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC, or they're frightened. But you can only do that your wisdom modifier times per long rest, which there's no way you're getting as much. Even if you have a 20 wisdom, you're getting less use out of this than the previous Dread Ambusher. Yeah, this is like painfully bad in my opinion. I mean, Umbral Sight is still really good, sometimes getting free greater invisibility, but I don't know, this subclass really doesn't even feel that good anymore, in my opinion.
It was, yeah, if you compare it to the previous one, it's a major hit. Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think my suggestion will be reverting it back, but maybe like remove the extra D8 damage. Like the extra attack is enough, and then maybe even somehow make it not stack with Action Surge, because I know that was a big problem too.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. Anyone in their right mind would take an extra attack over an extra D8.
Well, but like, or if you want to keep this, maybe like increase the amount of uses, or just cut the restriction on the uses. Once per turn, I mean, infinitely applying the frightened condition could be a bit much. Maybe it's you always get the D8 damage, and then you can only apply the frightened condition sometimes. Then you're basically the same as the hunter, but...
Yeah, yeah. I like the frightened condition, but like you said, 2 times per day.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times per day on average.
Never going to be impactful enough. So.
Yeah, this is like awful.
Something has to be fixed in some way.
And then they did also change Stalker's Flurry. Now designed to enhance the frightened effect granted by Dread Ambusher. So it has 2 abilities now. Before, this just let you, I believe, redo an attack if you missed. So now you have Sudden Strike. You can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet of the original target and is within that weapon's range, which is not bad. I would say that re-rolling a miss was a little bit better. But then we also get Mass Fear. Each creature within 10 feet of the target must make a wisdom saving throw, and then on a failed save, the creature has the frightened condition until the start of your next turn. And also, those are only when you use the frightened effect from Dread Ambusher.
Holy moly, that's so bad.
Yeah, so you only get those like 3 times per day, as opposed to the Stalker's Flurry before. Yeah. Every turn you could reroll a miss.
Yeah, this is just rough. I didn't even get to these. Oh my goodness.
And then Shadowy Dodge. Now allows you to teleport immediately after the attack misses, and the feature works when the attack has advantage. So yeah, when a creature attacks against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage. I think that's what it was before, but now, if the attack misses, you can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. It's okay.
It's okay. It's not...
The shield spell existing. Yeah.
It's not good enough to lose all your other stuff.
Yeah, 15th level. Yeah, no, this is like...
Avoided.
It went from the best subclass to probably the worst subclass.
Not the worst, but close.
Of the ones that are in here?
Oh, the ones that are in here for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
we don't talk about the worst one.
Yeah. Horizon Walk.
Don't say the worst.
And on to the Hunter. Hunter's Prey. They reverted it back to before. Now there's the 3 different choices instead of just getting Colossus Slayer, basically. Giant Killer has been renamed to Retaliator and now works against attackers of any size. This one's actually pretty cool. It's essentially like the riposte maneuver from Battlemaster, I think. So now, immediately after a creature within 5 feet of you attacks you, you can use your reaction to make 1 attack with a weapon against that creature, whether or not it hit you. So essentially just gets you more reaction attacks.
I really like that.
It's cool. Colossus Slayer is still probably the best, but the other 2 I think are good enough. Hordebreaker's the same. The other 2 are good enough to have their place, I think. Like, you might go with one of those 2 depending on your build.
Could you apply your weapon mastery to some of those?
To the Retaliator attack? Yeah.
So you just push someone away as a reaction attack?
That could actually be pretty big. They come up and try to attack you on the first one. You push them back 10 feet.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
There are some interesting interactions I feel like you could come up with for that.
That's the similar, like, Polar Master Sentinel kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah, depending on your build, you might go with a different one than Colossus Slayer now. And then Hunter's Lore is the same. It lets you know the damage or condition immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, one of those. But it's moved to 3rd level now. Unfortunately, there's that Hunter's Mark nerf, so you have to cast a not great spell to find those things out. That still might be worth it though, because if you can find out resistances or vulnerabilities before any damage is done. That could be pretty big. And then 7th level, moving Hunter's Lure down, they put back defensive tactics, and the 3 options are now Evasion, Uncanny Dodge, and Hunter's Leap. Evasion and Uncanny Dodge are just like the rogue features. And then the new one, Hunter's Leap, if an enemy you can see enters a space within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So if somebody comes up to you, you can use reaction to back up or move somewhere, but I think Evasion is probably the best choice there.
I think so. But I mean, if you're ranged.
Yeah, the other 2 aren't bad. Mm-hmm. Well, I would definitely go with Evasion or Hunter's Leap over Uncanny Dodge, but...
Yeah.
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 And then they changed the 11th and 15th. They're now Superior Hunter's Prey and Superior Hunter's Defense. They basically just upgrade the other options. So when you do Hunter's Prey, you get another choice. So you can pick 2 instead of just one thing. And then at 15th level, you get another Defensive Tactics. Which, I don't know, I feel like those could be a bit more interesting.
I am a big fan of the early features you're getting out of it. The later ones...
Yeah. You take 7 levels and then multi-class it.
Yeah. The perfect combination.
Looks like that's all there is for the Ranger. If you'd like to watch our last video where we covered the new Bard, you can check that out right here. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you in the next one.